Good morning, traders. This is your daily market breakdown. I'm going to start on the DXY today because there was quite a lot of movement on the US dollar over the last couple of days, especially because of the Japanese yen. We saw that the Bank of Japan had intervened, pushing or selling off quite a substantial amount of assets of the US dollar. So it just pushed the US dollar down quite aggressively. And then the Federal Reserve came in and also intervened and pushed the DXY even lower. The US dollar devalued even more. So this has completely altered all of our technical analysis. What I am seeing at the moment is we originally were considering the DXY was supposed to increase in value. It was supposed to continue going up, ultimately pushing a lot of our other major currency pairs into the downside. And what we're seeing now is that on the 4-hourly frame, we have completely surpassed all of these potential areas of liquidity. The trend has changed, and we are now looking for those shorting opportunities. And because of that, we now want to start looking for those long opportunities on all of our other major currency pairs, so long as this trend continues. What we are seeing at the moment is this initial reaction to this 4-hourly demand zone here. Let's see whether or not it does break this previous high. If it does, then again, we're going to have to re-evaluate our technical analysis. But if we look at on the daily and on the weekly, we are just trending down so aggressively. Just look at that huge white candle pushing down aggressively into the downside. What we are seeing is that there is this potential weekly demand zone around the 98 level. And so if the trend continues to go down, this could be the target of where we will eventually see that reversal back into the upside and another trend reversal changing bullish. So these are some things that we want to be concerned by. And because we've just seen this massive intervention and it looks like there could be a continuation into the downside. So I'll be looking for those shorting opportunities, and that just changes everything that I look for on my major currency pairs. So if we look over at the GBP USD, we can see a reflection of what happened with the DXY, where there's just been this aggressive move into the upside on the GBP USD. What's interesting is we have seen a bit of liquidity being taken here, and it's confirmed by this candle closing as it is. And so I actually took this short position, hoping that it's going to come down and potentially break this previous low and maybe just re-enter into this zone or hit the 200 EMA before and then moving up. Okay, so like we just saw on the DXY with that move going up, hopefully it will fail to break that previous high. And that is what will hopefully allow me to TP later today. But then I would generally just be looking for those long opportunities once I do TP from this position into the upside. So I'm looking for those long opportunities at the moment on GBP USD. Similarly for the euro dollar as well, we have just seen that really beautiful grab of liquidity, that really nice uncertain candle up here on the 4-hour frame. And we can see at what we might expect, that little reversal, that little pullback into the downside. So if you would have entered into a shorting opportunity, you might have brought it, you might have come all the way down to TP roughly around here. I think on the lower time, I think this could go a little bit further down, in my opinion. It could come back down to maybe somewhere around here on the lower time frames before that continuation into the upside, breaking this previous high, and maybe looking at that potential short opportunity or moving toward that supply zone up here. So that's my play at the moment. I'm just going to wait and see what the London session brings. If we just see in the London session that continuation into the downside, then I would wait for the New York session, because usually we will see an opposite reaction when New York starts, and I'll then start looking for those long opportunities there. USD JPY, so I'm not touching this pair at all. From our previous analysis, if there was no intervention, I was genuinely pointing toward a continued devaluation of the Japanese yen, and that ultimately pushes it into the upside. And we were seeing some beautiful reactions here. I mean, wonderful reactions where it came down. This was reaction number one that we're waiting to see. And it did, in fact, go into the upside. So on the lower time frames, if you had taken a long position, I didn't, obviously, but if you had taken a long position, you would have TP'd quite easily. And then it pushed back down to here, and then we started to see that reaction again. And these were really nice confirmations that, okay, it was going to continue into the upside. But then we saw intervention, and there is no amount of technical analysis that you can do to have predicted this intervention. Just look at that. It's just, you're completely helpless. You're helpless with these types of things. So yeah, I mean, historically, when we see this horrible amount of intervention, we do see the price continue clawing itself back into the upside. And so we could end up seeing that. I'm not too sure, but I'm not going to be playing around with this currency pair or technicals. If you were to analyze this, change your character into the downside, right? So if you're looking for shorting opportunities, sure, you could try your luck. If, you know, you're looking for those long opportunities, again, sure, try your luck. I mean, it's really a gamble on the USD JPY these days. So I'm just staying clear of it. I do not like it. I hate these interventions, but, you know, we have to live with it. Okay, so DXY, Euro, GBP, JPY, we can have a look at gold. And so if DXY is going to continue into the downside, then gold usually begins pushing itself upward. And I think right now, again, I'm staying out of this mainly because we're just in consolidation. At the moment, no clear trend is being formed on these timeframes. I mean, if we look on the daily, yeah, we have just created this, if you were into stock patterns, and then we have this descending this flag pattern that is formed. But overall, you know, we are just kind of in a bit of indecision. You can kind of see it like this. We're just in a bit of indecision at the moment. You see that? So it's just undecided. I think we're going to continue consolidating, and then we're going to see something happen. So I'm staying out of this market for the time being. But so my general analysis on this is that just wait and see, really. I mean, if you are a trader who wants to trade in consolidated markets, and of course go ahead, you know, we could see something like this going up and down, something like this, but I just don't want to risk it. That's all, especially on XAU. I mean, huge lot sizes, guys. But yeah, we're in a consolidated market, so I'm just in a wait and see period on gold at this point in time. BTC USDT, another pair or another currency I do not trade directly, but I do analyze. Yeah, we saw really nice. That was a great TP. I think this was last week. What was this? Yeah, last week TP'd. Fantastic. If you guys took that, I didn't. That was just a reference, just so you guys know. Yeah, and so, okay, so based on these analysis, we are now seeing a breaker structure into the downside. We are now seeing a really nice ascension back into the upside, which is kind of good. And we're just creating this very odd pattern happening here. And I think what's happening is that we've created a very clear area of support. And so if you are trading this, we could see the price come back down to maybe this region before continuing into the upside. I don't see any reason why BTC would be struggling so hard at the moment, aside from just the massive uncertainty around DXY at the moment. Perhaps, yeah, fine, the large indices are in a bit of a bubble, but I don't think it's going to pop anytime soon. So I think we're kind of on a more risk on type of environment, right? I think money is beginning to pour back into these highly speculative financial instruments, and so this could hopefully fuel BTC to push back up toward the $80,000 mark. We'll see, but we are in a bit of an odd position these days, guys, because I mean, if you just look at the AI bubble and how the markets are just overinflated by I think like 400-500%. Historically, it's a bit of a scary market, but I think there's still a little bit more room to grow across these markets before a inevitable pullback or correction. When that correction occurs, we do not know. But anyway, guys, that is your daily market breakdown.